Hi, Top Billin. There's not a more illustrative play of the state of Seattle's defense than this one. Look at my man Jordan Brooks right here. Turbo twerking before the snap just to get splataya. He's sleep. Cold sleep. Look at him. He sleeps so bad, the guy had to try to help him up a little bit. Then he thought better of it. He's like, man, you was just twerking. I ain't helping you up. Come on. You need a replay. My man sitting up here, turbo twerking. Look at it. You, turbo twerkers, unite. Look, this man does a great job of shooting the gap, jumping the sanitation and everything, just to leave himself exposed to the fullback, peeling back in splataya. He gets splatter whacked, fertilized, and he has cherries and lemons and bananas all in his eyes. Cash it out. Top Billin. But if there's a silver lining to the Seahawks' woeful defense, it is the fact that it has several young players on it that should be very good for the foreseeable future. None more so than Tariq Woolen, the 5th-round draft pick from UTSA. I know you guys remember him. 6'4", 210-pound corner. Ran a 4.26 40. My man already has 3 interceptions in 5 games. He is doing his 1-2 thing out there. Now, has it been perfect? Of course not. Seattle's defense is the worst defense currently in the NFL. But Tariq Woolen is holding his own, and you can only imagine what he'll be by season's end and into his future if he continues down this trail. Man, let's have a quick look at some of the stuff this youngin has been getting into. I'd be remiss if I didn't start here, but man, with this pick 6 against the Detroit Lions, going against TJ Hockenson here, who is a tight end who they flex off. They'll have work nub side. They'll split him off. Guy's a fantastic player through and through. Now, the Seahawks been running a ton of split safety coverage. Definitely have that 2 deep shell going, but right here, man, they're working with their old school 3 deep coverage, working that cover 3, and he gets to play with outside leverage, and he's chopped. We can see it from here. You can see the makeup speed. It's not even makeup speed. That's that bait speed. I used to do that when I was younger, man. I would pretend like I can't get there and then just get there. That, my friends, is hard. Whoop! Look at Jared Goff. Damn near broke his finger. Messing around there, thinking he was going to stop Tariq the Freak. Now, this is Tariq the Freak. There was a guy who played for Georgia. His name was Tyreek. They were trying to call the Freak. This guy is 6'4", 210, running a 4.2. Nice change of direction, very physical. That's Tariq the Freak, no doubt about that. All right, check this joint out, right? This is why this cat needs to be on your all-EMT squad as a first responder. This man in his hustle. Check this out. Originally, obviously, it's not his assignment. He peeks inside. You'll see him right here. He peeks inside, goes with his assignment there. Looks like the guy was going to be stopped. And look, TJ Hockenson again. And look at him outrunning everybody to make the tackle. Come on, man. Matter of fact, let's look at it from this angle here. You can see him with his assignment off screen. Then look at him pick it up. Look at this, just starting out to get in the gear, and he's still the first responder. What a freak like that to have on your team along with your other freak, DK Metcalf, who's very much cut from the same cloth, and those 2 guys battling in practice every day? What? Oh, man. Remember what I said about his ability to work with the outside leverage. Now, you'll see him with a little bit of a vertical bell here, and he's still able to stick that foot in the ground and work against this curl route. Look at that. Oh, he ran the route for him damn near. That's great route recognition there. Get to there. You can see him. If it went vert, he was going to be able to go vert as well here. But having that leverage, even though it's outside leverage and the player, the wide receiver here, gets outside of him, he's still able to stick that foot in the ground. And look at the length there. 6'4", pause. able to get that. Let's see if we can see it from this angle a little bit here. They're off camera, so you'll only be able to see the moment of truth scenario here. Let me see it right there. Look at that. Oh, that's cold. Look at that length, man. That's what being 6'4" will get you right there. And obviously it's a terrible pass on the inside, but it doesn't matter. He did his job. Oh, nasty. Well, what you doing, man? Get off me. Here's another thing that I like about Tariq Woolen. He's a true edge defender. We know in this day and age, the edge defender is not necessarily just the end man on the line of scrimmage. At corner, you have to be able to tackle too, because they will bend the edge in these run games with some very powerful and fast backs. And we can see him squeeze down right here, squeeze down, shuffle, stay parallel to the line of scrimmage, strike, and get wrapped and drugged by a big freak like Taysom Hill right here. That's a big man right there who's powerful as I don't know what. But look at this. Exactly how you would teach and draw it up here. Stay parallel to the line of scrimmage. If anything, once it starts to get to where you're at, you start to turn almost like outside leverage to funnel it back on the inside. As long as you stay parallel, you're able to get, look at that, head on the outside. Head on the outside. Absolute perfect tackling technique. But sometimes it doesn't matter because you have a guy like Taysom Hill who's just too powerful, but he still makes the play. That's all. So we have Woolen in his normal right post here, meaning the right side of the defense. Now check this out. His ability to work a lot of their zone elements. This time you will see the split safety look here. This time they're in quarters coverage. So he'll have a quarter of the field here, as well as both safeties sharing a quarter of the field. And, of course, Michael Jackson on the other side with a quarter of the field. You got the dynamic duo here, Pitts and Drake London. My man Kyle Checkmate Pitts here running a corner route. Drake London right here in a curl route. And Marcus Mariota is very late on this curl, and he reads it to perfection and jumps this bad boy like you wouldn't believe. See right here, back to the basket play action fake. Mariota waits. Probably thought that he would be trailing down the field, or maybe he will be occupied down the field with Pitts coming in his place or something like that. Because if he knew that this man has squatter's rights, he's just sitting there, right? He's squatting. He just needs to get deeper than the deepest in his portion of the field. He can sit there and squat and keep the ball in front of him. Nothing's going downfield in his direction there. Mariota, sensing that he may be downfield, throws it to that curl, and that was all she wrote right there. And, of course, that man knows what to do once he gets the ball. Give you a little something. But you see the back to the basket play action fake? You can see right there Drake London as they stem out of this, as Pitts stems out of this. Maybe he's thinking that, I'm not sure what he's thinking. But if he knows that man is sitting there squatting in cover 4, that's a poor throw unless he thinks he won't peek that far inside. But that's exactly what he does right there. Gets a pick in front of Drake London, another great rookie, and he's getting you some yardage. All right, moving forward, I would love to see him. Obviously, we're going to eventually see him go against guys who are a little bit more twitchier, opposed to the big guys who can just run, who are right up his wheelhouse. I want to see him get to twitchier guys just to see how he responds to routes kind of like this out route right here. Even though this is an out route, the receiver stems it inside and then breaks it out. And you can kind of see his a little bit tough transitioning with that, where if this were a throw and not an empty rep here, he would have been beaten. You see it here, stems out, massive separation right there. Massive separation, but the ball went somewhere else. But if you can just see, I want to see that a little bit more, because you can see him right there kind of commit to the inside portion of that, stick that foot in the ground, and he has trouble in his own transition there, and he kind of stumbles out of it there. So just little things like that. Here's an in-breaking route by Checkmate Kyle Pitts here, and you can see him working with that outside leverage. Kyle Pitts is one of those guys, even though he's a real big guy, he's very twitchy and very imaginative with his route running. He likes to vary the speed, and we can see him right here beat Woolen to the inside. Look at him. Bang that bad boy to the inside, pluck it, get a little bit of yak with it too. Yakety yak. See right here? Approaching Woolen. Medusa in him, right? stoning him to sleep. And you can see Woolen not as aggressive with the in-breaking portion of this. Looks like he's really guarding it to not go deep, if anything, there. So kind of not being aggressive with that puts him a little bit behind the 8 ball there. Luckily, Mariota has to wait for him to clear the underneath defender. And then he's almost able to get there, almost able to get a hand on it there, but not quite. And Pitts is able to do his 1-2 thing. We can see it from this angle here, how close he was. Oh, decently close. Like Barton was a little closer, if anything. Got Woolen in pure man coverage here going against Josh Reynolds, who's going to be running an out and up. And something gets lost in transition right here for Woolen. Now, listen, I've had the NFL, I don't know. So everybody and their grandmama think there's some type of film analyst all of a sudden, right? Cats who ain't never played a lick of ball. Everybody's on here doing film studies. So they done made the spot hot. So the NFL is going back and retroactively content ID claimed a lot of my material, and some of it the Seahawks material where I do the after game content using the film, even using the TV film. And even though it's heavily modified, there's no rules and regulation to it, so they claim the entire thing. So that's why you guys got to make sure you hit that PayPal, Venmo, send in the thanks button and all that, right? Because you got to make sure you tip your waiter, because you know I'll be bringing that hibachi. So we'll do this a little bit. This may have to be cut out in the next section as well, which I'm going to rehash. Or bring back one from a previous game, I believe the Broncos game with Woolen in it as well here. But you can see here, lost in transition, coming off the snap right there, selling the out portion of this. Now you can see them going downfield here, so it's going to be on a trail type scenario. So Woolen seeing a lot of stuff in his eyes here. He's really playing the out portion of this, gets on top of it, but for some odd reason doesn't turn to locate with Reynolds. He stays on top of this, like I don't know what type of vertical route he think that this could be. He's just now looking back and trying to feel his way through the route. So that's something that, of course, he'll get adjusted to there. But just definitely royally beat on this one right here. And then Reynolds does a good job after the catch as well. Getting some yak. Here comes the NFL. Fraudulent activities. Physical. Tariq Woolen had an interesting night. Now, I said this before, and I'll maintain this. I believe the Denver Broncos, when fully healthy, to be a top 5 offensively talented team. This Cortland Sutton cat, if you don't know, you should know. This cat is a bad mama jumma, Mo. And then Jerry Jeudy, one of the greatest college wide receivers we've seen of the past 10 years. Shifty cat. You saw him on that long touchdown that he had. And they had this other big cat named Tim Patrick. He got injured. But the running backs, both of them, very good. Javonte Williams, I think, is on the upper end of running backs in the NFL. It's just his second year. And, of course, at the time, man, remember, they had no offense in these guys, but the guys that they have now with Beck and Albert, Okui Boonham and all these guys, they are talented. So it was a good test for a guy like Tariq Woolen to be able to go against. So he had some up and downs, but this was a pretty good rep right here. Look at that right there. Decrease the space, turn in. And at the moment of true scenario, not pass interfere. It was a bad pass, no doubt. If it was upfield a little bit more, I actually think that Tariq Woolen would have made an even better play on the ball, to be honest with you. But the bad pass made it to where it was just underthrown here. But let's look at the off from the jump right here. So I like the stance here, not too far over his skis. Nice base width there, right? Taking inventory, perfect, right there. Left hand to the right shoulder pad just to get yourself in position. I have said that 50 million times. You're not going to impede anyone's progress running down the field doing this, but it just gives you a good judge of distance to be able to do that. Now, he just needs to keep running. He doesn't need to keep trying to touch and reach out and touch someone, baby. You know what I'm saying? This isn't church. He doesn't need to do all that. But once that man starts locating, Woolen needs to start locating as well. You see how late he is to kind of look? He just wanted to be sure and just catch up to him, but he was already within great distance there, and he turns I don't know, he turned kind of funny right there and then tried to turn back inside of it. I guess because maybe he couldn't locate the ball because it was being underthrown there. But I really do like this rep by him. I already said that going down the field should be a piece of cake for him. Anybody trying to run by him probably is not going to be able to do that. It's going against these shifty guys, to me, that makes me wonder about him long term. I wanted to see him go against a Jerry Jeudy running some of these mid-level routes and some of these quick game routes, because a guy like Jerry Jeudy and a guy like Courtland Sutton can really get out of their transitions very well, and that's how you stay in this league, being able to combat that. The constant mention of Richard Sherman, though, is killing me. It's crazy. Two totally different style of players, in my opinion. All right, back to Woolen. What we doing right here? My man doing a good job, not showing the hands until it's time, and then you react, right? That's taking inventory. You're judging it with the footwork. You know he's taking an outside approach, and you jab to that inside shoulder just to get yourself into position. It is a range finder. Now, what he doesn't need to do, though, is continue to tug on the jersey and to try to feel his way through the coverage. He needs to be able to feel his way without actually feeling his way, if you get what I'm saying right there. It needs to be kind of innate so he doesn't get these kind of ticky-tacky calls right there. But I like this one right here. He did a really good job there. Once again, the artist probably should have thrown that upfield into the outer shoulder, but he did what he had to do. Now, going against a shiftier guy like KJ Hamler here, this is what you don't want, right? Maybe he doesn't trust it. I don't know why he wouldn't trust it. KJ Hamler can run. There's no doubt about that. But so can Tariq Woolen. I don't get why you would run down the field just holding on to his jersey. That shit didn't make no sense to me, right? You just giving up free yardage. Not at all. But, hey, he's a rookie in his first game, man. Going against guys this talented, I'm telling you, this is a very talented offense. To be able to hold your own, that's definitely very promising.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.